What you see is the difficult climb of the Mount Annapurna, one of the most dangerous mountains on Earth. The climber with the camera was Atanas Skatov. We are at an altitude of about 6,500 meters. The temperature is about minus 10 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit. To get the top, there are another 2 days and 2 camps. After the tragic death of famous mountaineers in mid-January 2021, K2 had unfortunately proved deadly once again. Bulgaria's Atanas Skatov was perished after falling close to the country at 7,000 meters. Atanas was descending with the Sherpa Lakpa. The Canadian mountaineer Ilya Saikali describes what he seen.
It's difficult to know which rope to choose when descending K2, as there are so many old ropes. You need to be conscious with the fact that should you make the wrong decision and the rope not hold your weight, you will end up dead. It was careful and calculated. When there was a doubt, I climbed into multiplayer ropes with one of my safety lines and rely on the rope we believed was the new one. Part way down the black pyramid, while rappelling vertically, a body flew directly over my head out of nowhere. There was no warning. There were no cries. There was no sound. Only the terrible sight of a human being enveloped in a red down sweet fly right over my head. I yelled in horror. It was Atanas Skatov. I watched for 5-10 seconds as he tumbled and flipped upside down multiple times, bouncing off the hard icy slopes of K2. My immediate thought was that his girlfriend Shini was at base camp, accompanying Atanas on his journey up the world's second tallest peak, and would be shattered with this news. At some point, Atanas' body was ejected from his downsweep. He slid down the mountain to the base of K2. I was on a provisional expedition with Lakpa, and he's one of the keenest and most competent climbers out there. I knew he was suffering from the loss of his friend and client. I felt terrible for him. Nothing could be worse. One moment Atanas was there, and the next moment he was gone. It's impossible to explain exactly what happened, as no one witnessed the series of moves that Atanas made before he fell, but it's speculated that an error was made while switching lines. The moment you unclip your safety and entrust all of your weight and life to the safety line with your rappel device, you are leaning on the fact that you haven't made an error, because you will die if you have. K2 is a steep and relentless. If you fall, you will likely not stop until you hit the bottom of the mountain. I constantly triple-checked myself to ensure I did not make any mistakes. Atanas may very well have made a mistake, but no one will ever know because no one saw exactly what happened. In my humble opinion, from all I saw and understood from Lakpa, he likely made an error while changing ropes, and sadly it cost him his life.
Atanas Skatov was a highly proficient mountaineer who became famous in 2014 when, reaching the summit of Everest from the north, he became the first vegan to reach the roof of the world. he developed his idea of combining mountaineering and veganism and set about climbing the highest mountains in the world, successfully summiting in the last 5 years Manaslu, Annapurna first, Makalu, Lhotse, Choyo, Kanjichanga, the Gashenbrums, and the Dhaulagiri. He climbed in total 10 800 peaks. In 2017, climbing the Mount Denali, he completed 7 summits. At the end of 2020, he left for Pakistan for what turned out to be the first winter race in the history of K2, at the hands of the Nepalese team. The K2 fever, however, has dragged many climbers ready to risk something more, given the enthusiasm of the first ascent of the Nepalese team. Atanas Skatov was one of the mountaineers affected by too many deadly variables on the mountain in February: the polar cold, the steppe walls, and the ice. At the end of 2011, he came up with the idea of going vegan and climbing the highest peaks on all continents. In this way, he has combined veganism and mountaineering in his first project, to climb the highest peak of all 7 continents as a vegan. In less than 2 years, he reached the highest peaks of all 7 continents. Skatov was self-taught in climbing and mountaineering. He did not conduct preliminary research of the peaks prior to the expedition. But we remember him as a smiling, respectful, and nature-friendly climber.